Okay, so I've pretty much talked now about heaps. I've done heaps of talking, made lots of videos, and about my thoughts on a militia type bolt action rifle that would suit us Australian conditions. Okay, I've mentioned calibers 223, 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor. Okay, and I've sort of touched upon those lightly. I'm just going to go into depth a little bit more, and I'll tell you straight up now, 6.5 Creedmoor is my most recommended and best choice. It can be debated, obviously. The only way that I see it really losing out is ammunition availability and price, and that's it. And 223, again, that's a cartridge that really needs high volumes of fire to be effective, and it's great for suppressive fire and keeping your head down, but we're not really going to be doing that with a bolt action rifle. That's not the intended purpose. With the bolt action rifle, you got to use range and power. That's what you've got. That's going to be your main strengths. So you've got to play at your main strengths, and play where you're strong and where the enemy's weak. Why 6.5 over 308? I've done, even up until the last few hours today, I've just been watching videos, looking at load data and comparisons between a lot of the cartridges, like I mentioned in some of the last videos, between 6.5 caliber and 30 cal. And that includes 270, 7mm, 25 cal, and even 6mm. Okay, and basically what it comes back to is the heavier everything, and comparing this and cross-referencing this with terminal performance on game animals, and especially sort of medium to medium large size. You can basically make a correlation between, say, anything from a goat to a pig to a white-tailed sort of mule deer sort of size animal is equivalent to something like this. Trajectory, 6.5 beats the 308. How much does it beat it by? A little bit. But as the ranges go over 500 meters, it beats it more and more and more all the way out. The further it goes, the more it beats the 308. Wind drift, 6.5 Creedmoor wins. Okay, again, a little bit of a difference at 500 meters, but then once you start getting out past 500 meters, it just pulls away from the 308. Energy, same deal. You get out to 500 meters, they're basically equal. The 308 has more energy at the muzzle, out to around that 300 yards. Then it starts, the 6.5 Creedmoor starts catching up. Then 500 meters, they're basically identical. And then beyond 500 meters, the energy sort of takes over from the 6.5. And again, the further out you go, more energy goes to the Creedmoor. Velocity, exactly the same story. And then the other place where the 6.5 Creedmoor wins fairly significantly is recoil. Okay, so up close, where you don't want to be with a bolt action rifle against an enemy that's probably got high volumes of automatic fire, you don't want to be fighting him there. Okay, so having more energy in that area where you don't want to be is negligible. So we take that out of the equation. We really want to be engaging these guys beyond, at least beyond 300 meters, okay? And even in a perfect world, even if the 308, there's probably a couple of loads where the 308 might beat the Creedmoor at 500, right? Even if that's the case. It probably won't be the case at 600. As range starts to increase, yes, there's trajectory, which is the bullet drop, but then there's wind drift. Even if the 308 has more downrange power, if you're now missing because of wind or range was estimated wrong, and you combine the two, because there's almost virtually never wind-free days and other environmental factors that play into it. In all honesty, I know there's massive 308 fans out there. There's massive 223 fans. There's massive 6.5 fans. Okay, let's put those things aside and crunch the numbers, right? And the numbers and the science says the Creedmoor is a better cartridge. Projectile's not as heavy. There's not slightly less amount of powder is being burnt. It's being burnt more efficiently, and we've got better ballistic coefficient numbers. We've got better sectional density numbers. Everything's in the favour of the Creedmoor. So I think it's only a matter of time, or it's only a matter of time before the military starts to adopt it as a medium machine gun caliber. I think they should already be doing it. Okay, you're just handicapping yourselves if you don't, and the only excuse is availability of ammunition and barrels, because that's the only thing you have to change, is the barrel and the ammunition. So I think it totally makes sense for our military to change to 6.5 Creedmoor, and that's the reason why I'm saying that I think it's the best thing for a militia force to concentrate on, and we really drive a campaign of 6.5 components, brass, loaded ammo, and firearms for that caliber, which it's already there. Its ammunition isn't as available as 308, and the cost of ammo is considerably high at the moment. So that's something that needs to be worked on, but as demand grows, 308's going to be a very popular caliber, especially in this country where we shoot pigs, deer, donkeys, buffalo, camels, scrub bulls, things of that sort of nature. You know, it works so well that it's going to be hard to knock off its place, you know. But an accurate 6.5 that can reach out and smack any of those animals mentioned in the fucking brain, they're dead. Okay, so I think it's a no-brainer, and then the less recoil is a big winner. Okay, that means it's not too much for women, it's not too much for young people, teenagers, it's not too much for older people, it's not too much for people who have had shoulder injuries and other health complaints. So this is going to be a force made of people who aren't perfect or not suitable for the army. So it doesn't mean you're a second-rate citizen. It just means that, you know, my eyesight's too fucked to join the army. I got a hooky finger from cutting my tendons. I got busted knees and shoulders and that from playing football and car accidents, motorbike accidents, and, you know, doing all the boxing and kickboxing and stuff throughout the years. My body, and I'm a construction worker, so my body gets worn out. There's going to be a lot of guys in my same boat, and they got little ailments wrong with them. It's hard to get up in the morning, all your joints are squeaky and rah-rah, but you still got that passion and that fire in your belly, and you're never going to want to give up. The same people who are going to rush to the aid of someone who's taken a fall in a car accident, a fire, no matter what it is, if you're someone who runs towards the flames to help, you're going to be someone who's going to be interested in doing a militia type thing. Whether it's a citizens defense corps, whether it's a citizen service, whatever. It's not all about guns, but I'm just talking about guns and firearms and ammunition in general. So anybody who, you know, there's guys in the army that aren't gunheads. They join the army, they drive trucks, they're cooks, they're whatever, but they still have to do rifle training. Same with volunteer service. Because it's volunteer service, you don't have to do anything. So if you don't want to shoot guns, you don't shoot guns. But if you do, you can come and shoot them. You don't have to own them. So I think the 6.5 is great. I think, you know, I think it'd be a very good option for the military to actually change to something like the 6.5 Grendel or the 6mm Arc as a light machine gun cartridge. So they're getting the best of both worlds. The brass is lighter, but they got a lot more, a fairly significantly more powerful round than 223 that shoots very similar to the 308 and Creedmoor, but in a lighter package, you know. And then we can also, because we're talking ammunition here, you can also now start to talk about improvements in ammunition. So you can go to, it looks like the future for ammunition is going to be these nylon or plastic cases, whatever they are. The US Army and the US Research and Development is definitely making milestones in this field. So that means it's going to be cheaper to produce eventually. It's more expensive now while it's still not fully adopted, but once it's adopted, there's no reason why it should be cheaper. You need less energy involved in it, whether that's electricity or heating, etc., etc. It's lighter, so there's less transport costs. There's less load that a soldier needs to carry around. Everything is lighter, okay? The performance in the firearms, the gun barrels don't heat up. Brass dissipates heat, so heat is going from the combustion of the cartridge into the brass case, and then that's leaking heat, which is energy, into the steel barrel of the firearm, and then you're losing energy. You're losing energy through heat into the actual firearm itself, and that does a couple of things. A, the projectile's not going as fast and as efficient as it could be. B, the gun barrel's heating up, so you're not keeping your accuracy for as long. You can't hold or touch the barrel without burning your hands, and the firearm will work. The rifling inside the barrel will wear out a lot quicker too. The hotter it gets and the more rounds you keep pumping down there, the softer the steel's getting, and you're going to wear the gun out. So, and another thing with that as well is, from the experiments that they've been finding in the research and development, is because there's more heat staying inside the actual cartridge itself, they tend to be getting the same or better performance with even less powder. So that means there's less recoil again. So you put those plastic cartridges into the 6.5 Creedmoor, you're going to get even less recoil again. You know, so, and then the same thing with the 6.5 Grendel. If the military were to adopt that in the Minimi, you got a lighter projectile, a lighter bullet, less powder, and then it becomes even more efficient than the efficient Grendel or 6mm arc. So, and then if the military did change their light machine gun or Minimi to 6.5 caliber, you know, they're standardizing the 6.5 rifling and 1 in 8 twist. That means the manufacturers that are making the rifle barrels, they're streamlining now. 6mm, the tooling, the rifling, etc., etc. Basically same machines. Bulk tooling, you know, rifle buttons or cutters, whatever they're using. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. 6.5 Grendel as the general purpose. What do you think, guys? Actually, you can let me know what calibers do you think? What's better than 223, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor? All ears.